GWATA TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
My name is Charley Voorhis. I own Vortex Productions. As it mentions in the thing, it's been registered since 2004, but I actually like to claim that it was registered more like in 2013, which is when I really kind of took it on more full time and went strong with it. And one of the first relatively large projects we took on was the We Are Wenatchee campaign, of which we ended up doing a full trilogy, and that has led to countless projects that have really established us in this community in Washington State at large.
Let's just go down the line. Beth, why don't you start next?
And I'm Beth Dew. I am the owner of Threads. We are a clothing boutique down on the avenue for women, and we kind of specialize in like higher end denim, on fashion, like on trend fashions, and we carry anything from like hats to jeans to sweaters to all of that kind of stuff. And then we opened in August 2016, and yeah. I forgot what I said. So.
Jake.
I'm Jake Davison. I own the American Family Insurance in town. I opened my agency November of 2013. We do pretty much everything besides health insurance, so auto, home, life, farm, commercial, that sort of stuff. Something that's a little different about American Family than, or in comparison to other multi-line insurance companies, is we do, along with small businesses and small farms, we do very, very large-scale commercial farm stuff. So we can pretty much cover everything somebody might need to cover.
I'm Brittany Tait with OsteoStrong. My husband and I started OsteoStrong in October of 2018. So we're a new business here in town. We help to strengthen your musculoskeletal system, starting with the foundation, which is your bones. People, by coming and using our equipment, are seeing reductions in their joint and back pain. They're seeing improvements in their posture, their balance, their agility, being able to live life with more vitality. We have members who are reducing and reversing the effects of osteoporosis and osteopenia, as well as type 2 diabetics who are reducing their hemoglobin A1C in an all-natural way.
Well, according to studies out of Duke University, the Kauffman Foundation, the Founder Institute, and Northwestern, the average entrepreneur is 40 years old when launching his or her first startup. And the average age of leaders of high-growth startups is 45 years old. All of you started on your entrepreneurial path much earlier in life. Can you tell us why, and was there a specific reason, event, or life experience that led you to lead down this path? Charlie, you want to start?
Sure. So I was 21 years old when I registered Vortex Productions. I honestly didn't really think of it as I want to own a company and I'm going to be an entrepreneur and go do this thing. I actually wanted to do a live film concert at the Performing Arts Center, and I felt like the community might take me slightly more seriously if I owned a company. So I went and started Vortex Productions, and that kind of snowballed into obviously what it is now. But I didn't go in with this strong entrepreneurial spirit. It was more of an art endeavor. And then at 23, I was currently managing a video store up in Leavenworth, and the owners were kind of in divisive times and needed to offload the video store in whatever way they could, and so they offered to sell it to me through kind of a clever payment plan that I jumped into. So here I am now, a 23-year-old kid that's owning a commercial store in Leavenworth, and that was really kind of what sparked my entrepreneurial just kind of imagination. Like, what could I do with this place? And I immediately just gave it this decor, upheaval, and I added a coffee shop to it, and I was the first Wi-Fi cafe in Leavenworth. It was just like this thing that sort of took on a life of its own. that was just before Netflix came in and started taking over. However, little to my strategy did I know that the coffee shop was actually going to thrive quite well and the video store fell apart. So that inspired me to move my coffee career up to the highway in Leavenworth, and I started a coffee shop called Redbird, which is still there now, but it's now called Good Mood Food. So I still ended up selling to them, but that just sort of furthered my, I can run my own thing and like look at this cool place that I get to have kind of complete control over. Yet I was not a student of business, nor accounting, nor anything like that. So there was the obvious sort of ups and downs of running a business when you really didn't know what you were doing. And that was also around the time that I was doing more passion projects through video on the side and kind of fueling that Vortex Productions path a little bit. And there was enough experience built up in there that it gave me the opportunity to start teaching video production at the Tech Center. So there was a 4-year kind of jaunt to my entrepreneurial path that honestly was integral in what I'm doing now, because in that 4 years it really helped me recognize the value of storytelling and the value of being part of a community and the power that you truly have when you're given something like a camera, and how it can transform communities. And that's when I decided that I really wanted to take this video production thing more seriously and go full-time with it. And it was a really hard decision to leave teaching and go full-time with Vortex Productions in 2013. That was ultimately the decision I made, and I'm still kicking, and got a crew of employees that are working for Vortex now too, and they're all still kicking. So it's kind of in a nutshell what the last 14 years look like.
Brittany, how about you? What brought about wanting to do Osteo Strong, and was there an event that led up to it?
Really good question. So, like I said, Matt and I, he's here with me. We've always kind of dabbled in small business stuff. When he started college, he started a landscaping business in Pullman, and he saw an opportunity to take what somebody else was doing and do it on his own, and set his own hours, set his own rates, and do things the way he wanted to do it instead of taking the way somebody else does it. From there, into like general contracting type stuff, construction work. And then once we started having kids, I didn't want to be sending my kids to a daycare. So I opened up an in-home daycare in Quincy and ran an in-home daycare for 7 years. And that was just kind of the start. Like, it's something that we've always dabbled in. So when our youngest we started looking at her going to school full time, I didn't want to be stuck at home in a daycare with other people's kids. So, I mean, I love kids and they're a passion of mine, but other people's kids when mine aren't there, not so much. So we started looking for, we had been saving and trying to figure out what it was that I would do after we closed down the daycare. So we had the opportunity to attend a Tony Robbins conference in Florida in November of 2017. An amazing 4-day experience. It was phenomenal. While we were there, Tony allows his business partners to get up on stage and kind of present what they're doing and how they're helping to change the way people live their lives. So on the 4th day, it was at the very end of the conference, Tony allowed Kyle Zagrodzky, who's the CEO of Osteo Strong, to get up and present about Osteo Strong and what it was. So Kyle gets up there and starts talking. Matt and I kind of look at each other and we're like, yeah, we don't want to be sold on something else. Like, way to ruin a good 4-day experience. Kyle says Wolf's Law. Matt has a bachelor's in kinesiology. I have a background in massage therapy as well. So Kyle mentions Wolf's Law, which is a law that is studied in medical schools. We both looked at each other and were like, oh, we need to learn more about this. This is cool. This is something we could get behind. So Matt walked out and went and looked at the equipment, and I sat there listening to Kyle's speech. When Kyle was done, the conference was over. We went out and sat at the booth with the CEO, the vice president, the marketing people, the doctor who created the equipment, and sat there and just listened and took in the experience and the community, the culture around Osteo Strong. I feel like from there, we were a little bit skeptical, like, okay, what's the catch? We couldn't find anything bad about the company, so we signed our franchise agreement in December of 2017, and we were able to get open October of 2018 here in Wenatchee. So that was kind of the turning point for us.
Jake, how about you?
As far as owning a business, that's kind of all I really knew. I never really had a thought to do anything else. My dad owned a business growing up, so it's just what I knew. And I landed on insurance because when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, there was a couple boxes that I wanted to check just in terms of my life. I wanted to do something where I could be an active member of a community. And then I also wanted to be able to help people in that community with whatever I'm doing. And then the third one was I wanted to grow a business that is what you put into it, meaning there's no ceiling to how much success you can have, but there also is not a floor. So it truly is whatever you want it to be. So.
Beth, how about Threads?
I guess mine was kind of the same as Jake. So growing up, both of my parents had their own businesses, and so I never really thought of doing anything else. So I wanted to have my own business as well. And then growing up, I always kind of had a passion for fashion, and as I got older, I had the opportunity to work at a few different retail stores, and when I worked at the Gilded Lily is when like things like really sparked for me. Mark and Kathy Ball were amazing, and they really allowed me to see the backside of owning a business and being a part of ordering and getting to do displays and that kind of stuff, and I really liked it. So obviously at that age I didn't really have the means to do it, so I went into being a dental assistant, and I did that for like 7 years, and the time kind of came where my husband and I had that talk, and okay, do you think this could be a good time to do this? And the opportunities just kind of fell into place, and the space opened up where I wanted to be, and so that's kind of how it all happened.
So having mentorship through the Gilded Lily, does anybody else have that experience in starting off in this entrepreneurship field? And do you care to share who your mentor was or who inspired you to take the path?
I didn't really have a specific mentor. You know, again, I watched my dad own a business. He owns a telecommunication business, so he pulls wire through buildings and stuff like that. So a little different. But you know, for me, I read a lot of books, and I talked to and still talk to anybody in any kind of business that is willing to share some knowledge. That was kind of my whole thought.
Wonderful. So let's start with Brittany. Osteo Strong is new to the Wenatchee Valley. What has been most challenging in bringing in a new business to this community? And is there misconceptions that you guys have had to overcome?
That's a really good question. So one of the biggest challenges that we have right now is just education. We're a blue ocean business. We got into a franchise that's slated to be one of the, if not the fastest growing franchise in 2019, 2020. So it's totally blue ocean. There's nobody else that does what we do in this area. There's one other Osteo Strong center in Mercer Island right now, but that's the only one. So education is huge. We just want to get the information out there to people, what we have to offer, and how we can really help people of all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all ability levels, man, woman, it doesn't matter. We can honestly, truly help everybody. So that's been one of the hardest parts, is just education. So with that, we offer complimentary sessions to people to come in and learn about what we have to offer. If it's not for you, or if it's not the right time, then you probably know somebody, or there's somebody that you know that you could invite to come in and see what we have to offer. So that's been our biggest our biggest thing is just education.
And getting people in the door to
Yeah.
experience it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Jake, let's talk about your business support in the community. You mentioned that it was very important to you to be involved. How does Jake Davis, American Family Insurance, give back in Wenatchee?
We try to support things that, that we believe in. So we're huge supporters of the PAC, anything we can do there in the chamber. I'm on a couple different boards and committees and things throughout the area. And we do what we can, food drives and things like that. We try to be really involved with organizations that do great stuff.
Charley, how about Vortex? How do you give back to the community?
Well, I think one of the biggest ways I feel like I can have an impact maybe on the community is by just helping tell the story. We donate production to nonprofits pretty regularly. Again, it's stories that we believe in, and we want to help tell the community's story. Financially, unfortunately, we're kind of a bootstrap company, and we can't always write a huge check, but we can certainly apply our skill set in a way that we feel helps make our community stronger.
Beth?
I feel like being the women's clothing boutique in town, I feel that we are, I guess we don't necessarily give back. We'll donate to different charities and that kind of stuff. But I feel like we're bringing brands and fashion that you can't find anywhere else, and that really I think helps, keep the money in the community and rather than going elsewhere.
And Beth serves on the Downtown Association Promotion Committee. I'll take your horn for you. Brittany, how about Osteo Strong?
We're providing a new way for people to stay active, stay healthy, stay fit, take what we've been given out our back door and be able to explore everything in a healthy, natural way. So that's, being that we're a new business, we're working on being able to give back a little bit more, but we have plans.
So what tools and resources have been most beneficial to you? Did you seek out a particular avenue to access those? What am I looking for? The tools and resources. Did you find that here in our community, or did you feel like you had to go outside?
I'll jump out and start that one, I suppose. One of the biggest, I guess, hurdles that I needed to get over the staggered course of my entrepreneurial development, given I didn't go to business school nor accounting school, and there's a lot of finances that need to be organized well through the course of running a business. And when I was younger, I certainly just sort of made do with what I thought needed to be in place. But there was definitely a point where I began to recognize the community at large and everybody sort of specializing in their own just sector of things, and there was a point where I got mature enough to recognize that all of those are necessary on every level. For example, I get insurance through Jake. And when I was in the earlier phases of my business development, I didn't really know what to do with insurance or how I should put that in a position. And same with an accountant or people to kind of help manage other aspects of your company. And I think that looking at the Wenatchee community at large was really just the collective mentor that kind of helped put everything in place. And no, I didn't think I needed to really go beyond Wenatchee to get any further resources because I found everything I needed right here. And everyone was so open to, I think that maybe they recognized my enthusiasm and interest in wanting to do something large, and Wenatchee kind of has a very infectious, collaborative way about them. And I've heard from people who run businesses, say maybe in Seattle or other areas where it's much more kind of cutthroat and everything is very, you know, if you pay me enough, I'll do that type of thing. But that's just not the way it is in Wenatchee. Everyone's just, you know, lending an open hand.
Have the rest of you found that to be true as well?
Yes, I would absolutely agree, like 100% with that. The best and biggest tool that I've found during my whole business career is people, period. And people here. You know, it's truly amazing what you learn when you just ask somebody, hey, you do a great job at whatever you do. Can I pick your brain and buy you coffee? Like the willingness of that person to just unload on you and tell you the secrets or whatever, you know, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So regardless of industry, I think business is business, so that's the best tool that I've been able to take advantage of.
Matt and I are kind of crazy ones, and we started a business in a community where we really didn't have a network. We moved to Quincy in 2010, and I ran an in-home daycare. He worked in the school system, so it was, we didn't really have a network. So coming to Wenatchee to bring Osteo Strong, we've really had to like build our foundation ourselves. And I have definitely found that Wenatchee has so many people. I'm looking out and I see different people that I've had conversations with, and there's so many people right here that are really able to help support and guide and mentor and just toss ideas around with. So it's been really cool to see how all of that has worked together.
Yeah, same here. I mean, as I said earlier, Kathy Ball has been like a huge help. When I went to market for the first time, it can be super overwhelming. It's so big and so many different places. She kind of broke it down for me and explained to me like, this is what you need to do and the areas that I should go to. Also, Pat Palmer, before he retired, he also let us know about the space that we got. And I mean, talking to Jessica from Tumbleweed and Brianne from Merrimack when she was here, they all just were so willing to talk and give it, you know, helpful advice, and so always appreciative.
Beth, let's stick with you. In a world of online shopping and big box stores, it's so great to see Threads really thriving downtown. To what do you attribute the success?
I just feel like probably customer service is like a big thing. You know, online shopping is so convenient, and but you don't get to feel the products. You don't get to have that interaction with somebody. And even so, like going to a big box store, same kind of thing. Sometimes, yes, you have great options, but when you shop at a smaller place, you do get that one-on-one experience with people. And we get to know our clients, and we love that, and we want to know what they're looking for and what they don't like about things and what they do like about things and how this is going to fit their body. And when I go to market, like, I'm shopping for them. Like, I'm not shopping for what I like, I'm shopping for what they want. So I think that customer service is a huge thing.
Since 1999, GWATA has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.